Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Nathalee Kong, and I'm the chair of the Revere Board of Health. And thank you for tuning in. I'm here to just give all of the residents of Revere an update on some concerning trends in the number of coronavirus cases that we've been seeing in the city over the past week. So it goes without saying that the coronavirus has been with us for the majority of 2020. Back in April and May, here in the Northeast, we experienced our peak. But you can see from this graph, the rest of the United States over this past summer experienced quite a shocking surge in cases, primarily in the southern and the western part of our country. But over in Massachusetts, though we've had much lower cases than what we experienced this past spring, you can see ever so slightly on this graph that our numbers have actually been slowly but surely going up. And some of that is to be expected because the state of Massachusetts is in phase 3 of our reopening plan. But I'll tell you, back in July 1, our 7-day average of positive tests, positive new cases was about 200 per day. And now heading into the end of July, we're up to 300 per day. And, it pains me to really say this, but Revere has also seen similar uptick in cases of the coronavirus cases. So back in, June 11th, that was our last day of having any double-digit numbers, and that was just 10, barely a double-digit. We went pretty good solid month with having less single-digit case numbers daily, and even one day we had 0, which is awesome. But just this week alone, we've had 3 days of double-digit case reports. On Sunday, we had 14 cases. On Tuesday, the 28th, we had another 14 cases. And just this morning alone, we have recorded 18 new coronavirus cases in our city alone. All right. What's also shocking is out of all the tests we do, we have a very high positive percentage rate of tests, much higher than cities like Chelsea and Everett that were hit really badly with coronavirus back in the spring. In addition, our positive case rate is also number 1 among many other cities across the Commonwealth. This includes cities that have been testing their residents with the Stop the Spread campaign for about 2 weeks longer than Revere. So Chelsea, Everett, Worcester, Marlborough, Fall River, these are all cities that have had the Stop the Spread campaign about 2 weeks longer than Revere, and yet we are still number 1 in terms of positive case rates over the last 2 weeks. So what does that mean for everyone? Well, I think this means that, we are at the cusp of a potential spike or surge in cases. And I think we should all continue to be cautious, continue to be careful, and continue to be vigilant. The fight is not over, it is far from over. So I want to take this moment to remind everyone to stay at home whenever possible. Remember, you are safer at home. We are all safer at home. And your chance of transmitting the virus or getting the virus is virtually none when you're at home. But if you do need to leave your home and make essential trips outside the home, whether that's for medicines, a doctor's appointment, or for groceries, I urge you all to wear a mask. All right. Wearing a mask makes your likelihood of transmitting the virus and also getting the virus yourself, if others around you are wearing masks, it makes that chance very low. And what makes it very low is maintaining a 6 feet of distance. All right. So wear a mask, remain socially distant. And then don't forget washing hands frequently with warm, soapy water, right? Those are the fundamentals of keeping yourself safe if you have to leave the home. And again, I urge you all to try your best to stay within the home whenever possible. When we see these positive tests come back, we always do contact tracing, meaning we always have a cadre of volunteers and nurses calling these patients to ask them that they, or make sure that they know they tested positive, make sure they're quarantining at home, and make sure we support them in their quarantine. But we also want to understand where they've been, who else could they have infected so that we can call those patients and urge them to get tested too. And we can also understand, well, where are patients potentially getting the infection from? What can we do to help mitigate it and help stop the spread of this infection? And we're understanding through our contact tracing over the last couple of weeks is that a lot of folks are going out to house parties. They're going out to large gatherings with families and friends. So I urge you all to try to minimize that, at least minimize the number of folks in the gatherings, and try your very best to have those gatherings be outdoors where it's very well ventilated. And don't forget to wear a mask when you're in those gatherings. I think taking those simple tips will help to reduce the spread significantly from these gatherings. What else can you do to mitigate your risk of having the coronavirus? Well, get tested. I urge you all to get tested. Obviously, if you display any of the classic symptoms of coronavirus, whether it be a cough, a runny nose, a sore throat, or a fever, you should most certainly get tested and call your PCP if you have one. But even if you don't have symptoms, even if you were just at a large party or a gathering, if you just got off a plane, I urge you all, whatever the reason it is, please come and get tested. Revere is now one of the cities that are in the governor's Stop the Spread campaign, meaning we have free walk-up and drive-through testing available Monday through Saturday in the Revere High parking lot. There is no cost. You don't need an insurance. You don't even need an identification or an appointment. And the turnaround time for these results is only 2 to 3 days, which is awesome. So you can see here on this slide the hours of the test. This is all available on .org/coronavirus website. In addition to having this resource that's going to be available to our city through August 13th, we also have other sites like the East Boston Neighborhood Health Center at Suffolk Downs. They're doing free testing for both symptomatic or asymptomatic residents of Revere. And then the Beth Israel and the MGH in Chelsea, those sites are also offering free testing to folks who have symptoms. And there are testing available for folks who do not have symptoms either. In addition to getting tested, don't forget that contact tracing goes hand in hand with testing. It doesn't matter how many of our patients and our residents get tested if we don't understand who else they could potentially be infecting, if they don't isolate themselves after they get tested. So it's really important to call when the Massachusetts contact tracing team tries to reach out to you, just to understand if you know your test results and if you are isolating, and then who else you could have exposed, because we can for sure help any of your close contacts, any of your family members or your friends who were near you when you could have spread the virus. We can help them to get tested as well. The other thing that contact tracing allows us to do is it allows us to support our residents in isolation. Obviously, if you have to take time off of work, if you can't go out to get groceries, if you need your medicines delivered to you, these are all logistics that we can help you out with. So definitely answer the call and definitely reach out to us if you're needing help. We also have quarantine kits that have masks and hand sanitizers and other things that could definitely aid in quarantine and beyond. So don't be afraid to reach out to us for help with that. Either the contact tracers will call you, or 311 Revere is a great way to learn about other programs like food pantries and other ways we can support you during isolation should you test positive. The last thing I want to end off by saying is, though these numbers are growing, I know that, just as we did before, the city can band together and make the right decisions and do the right thing so that we can avoid a second shutdown. What's really near and dear to my heart right now is making sure that schools are able to reopen. And only if we can get our numbers back down can schools safely reopen, even in a hybrid model. So please, everyone, know that the decisions you make, for better or for worse, will affect everyone in your entire community, from your school system to your elderly. So please make the right decision. Please wear a mask. Please remain vigilant, remain cautious, and just continue to do the right thing so that we can stop the spread.